Well, and Greg, so it sounds like he's the next to the last witness. There's supposed to be 2 more witnesses. He's number one, and then somebody else. But it sounds like the prosecution knows that he's got the problematic background. And so far, they brought in other people to essentially say the same stuff he's going to say. Now he's going to take the stage, say it, but then they're going to go, you can't trust that guy. But then the prosecution's going to say, yeah, but what about those other people who said the same thing?
Even Fox News is at the point where they have to admit that Trump's court cases are not going well. But let's take a look at the Trump supporters themselves. What are they saying?
Maybe this disqualifies him for president.
Not for me. I'm with him to the finish.
All right, thank you so much.
He could stand on the front steps of the White House and commit murder, and I'm with him.
Jesus Christ, okay. Now, there's something about the Trump supporter that I've never understood and never will understand. It doesn't matter what he does, how heinous the crime, they still have his back. And we've talked a lot about the cult of personality surrounding Trump the candidate, but that's bad for the country. When you have millions of people who think this way, there's zero political will within that party to hold their own guy to account. Look, everybody, regardless of party, regardless of affiliation, should want better from the president. But with Trump, it is truly at deranged levels. Admitting this guy could murder somebody and you would still support him.
I'm with him to the finish.
Get help, my friend. Please, get help. And of course, it's not just Fox News who's taken aback at Trump's callousness. Take a look.
Michael Cohen said that, quote, Donald Trump wasn't even thinking about Melania. This was all about his campaign. And then he raised Melania to Donald Trump, and Trump said, don't worry. How long do you think I'll be on the market for? Not long. Oh, wow. That's basically Michael Cohen saying that Trump was essentially arguing that if Melania Trump was upset enough over this to leave him, that it wouldn't be a problem for him.
He'd find a fourth wife or fourth girlfriend. That's what it seems to be insinuating there. That's how I read that.
Yeah.
It's a pretty callous comment. So it'd be interesting to see from our reporters inside how Trump responds to that.
Contrary to Trump's denials that he had sex with Stormy Daniels, Michael Cohen testified today that when he asked Donald Trump if anything had happened between him and Stormy Daniels, Trump bragged to Michael Cohen that, even though he was there at this golf event with Big Ben Roethlisberger, the women there, like Stormy Daniels, they wanted him more than they wanted Big Ben.
I mean, if we're being honest, it doesn't take a lot to be more attractive to a woman than Ben Roethlisberger, but we're talking about Trump here, so it still is gag-inducing. This is just a fraction of the insanity surrounding this case.
He describes an angry Trump confronting him, saying, I thought you took care of it. I thought you had this under control. And then Trump going on to say, according to Michael Cohen, this, meaning the Stormy Daniels scenario breaking, is a total disaster. Women will hate me. Guys will think it's cool. But this is going to be a disaster for the campaign. That's almost one of the last thing the jurors heard before the lunch break. And I can tell you, as I was keeping an eye on jurors and making my notes, they seem to me to be riveted by this testimony.
And Trump supporters, especially those vying to be vice president, mind you, they're taking shots at the jury.
I am disappointed in looking at the supposedly American citizens in that courtroom, that the DA comes in and he acts like it is his Super Bowl. And I guess it is, to be noticed. But that's what's happening in this country. The Republican candidate for President of the United States is going through mental anguish in a courtroom that's very depressing. Very depressing.
Judge inside, his daughter is making millions of dollars running against Donald Trump, raising money for Donald Trump's political opponents. The number 3 person in the Department of Justice, Biden's Department of Justice, left to become a local prosecutor to go after Donald Trump. And of course, there's Alvin Bragg, a Soros-funded prosecutor who promised to go after Donald Trump and now is doing exactly that.
We all hate jury duty, but we all understand and recognize that it is important. And you want to protect and preserve the sanctity of the jury. It's one of the core aspects of a fair judiciary. But Republicans are happy to throw that aside because it's their guy on trial. And it's all becoming a mockery of our legal system. Republicans in Congress are flying up there to be seen.
I'm here speaking with you outside because the court won't allow us to speak inside the building. That's just one of the many things that are wrong here. This is the 5th week that President Trump has been in court for this sham of a trial. They are doing this intentionally to keep him here and keep him off of the campaign trail. And I think everybody in the country can see that for what it is. I'm an attorney. I'm a former litigator myself. I am disgusted by what is happening here.
Members of the media, the right-wing media, are issuing statements that he's reading at press conferences.
Judge Janine Pirro, she talks here. This is, well, she's very excited here. He's a fool. He's not an experienced judge, so I'll make that one a little short. I don't want to insult anybody.
The whole thing is a spectacle, and all the while they're trying to paint Trump as a martyr. Never mind that this allegedly is because of his own behavior. They're doing it to try to bring in more donations. Trump's team has been working overtime, hitting up their email list, trying to solicit donations while framing him as a victim. Oh, poor Trump, he's on trial again. Please chip in $20 so he can beat Sleepy Joe Biden. And I think the scenes outside the courthouse really reflect just how bad things are getting for the Republican Party. It's not just that their nominee for president is on trial again. It's that even long shot hopefuls for vice president are flying up there to kiss the ring, to stand outside in front of cameras and call it a sham trial, to attack jurors, to publicly express support for Trump. Because most, if not all of them, hope that they have a shot at becoming vice president, or at the very least get a cabinet position. And with Mike Johnson, that's especially funny. This is the guy who pretends to be a biblical conservative, wants to protect the sanctity of family values. And here he is going up to New York to defend a guy on trial for hush money payments. Hush money payments to cover up an affair a guy had with an adult film star. And look, there are many ways people interpret Christianity, but the Bible doesn't mince words about adultery. It's pretty clear that's frowned upon, but it doesn't matter because these people will put party before anything and their own political prospects before you.